here with episode 4 of the Parlayed Times. How's it going, Greg? What's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I feel pretty good.
I feel good. I feel good too. I think I think we'll kill it today.
Yeah, I think so too. Big show. We're gonna have a lot of different topics. I think what we want to start off with though is the Bears schedule release today. Today is May 12th. This is dropping May 13th. So officially announced the Bears 17 game schedule. First thoughts is you don't like the draw that we got.
Yeah, no, it's not that bad. It's not a tough schedule. We only play, I think, like 13 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, so we should fare well. We should do well. But I mean, let's break it down.
Yeah, no.
First week's a nice, easy game at the Rams on Sunday Night Football.
Well, okay, so this is when we go. This is when we go back and forth. So he starts off with, we play the toughest schedule, the toughest quarterbacks. We play Matt Stafford week 1. You don't think Matt Stafford? He's a loser. Matt Stafford's a loser, according to you.
Matt Stafford is a loser,
and we're playing him week 1. So
but
that should fare well.
McVay.
What was that gesture?
McVay has balls. He has balls. He's gutsy. He's a great coach. Better play caller than Matt Nagy by a gazillion. They're tough, and it's the opening of their mega stadium that's probably going to hold the Olympics. So we're up against a lot there. And then we have AD, who's probably going to start game 1.
Andy Dalton. You think, all right, so a few things. I agree with you. I think first off, Sunday Night Football, week 1 at LA is extremely tough. I just like catching you in your logic because you talk about how we're playing the toughest quarterbacks and then the first quarterback.
Well, I told you, I had a dream that we won that game and Andy Dalton was the quarterback week 1. So I don't know. We'll see. That's a tough one, though. We cannot deny that's a tough game.
Okay, we play this percentage game a lot. You said 70% chance that they were going to move up in the draft. Odds Justin Fields starts game 1 this year.
0.
Okay, it's no way 0%.
Well, there was no way. You said there was no way the Bears were trading up.
I never said that.
Okay, fine. You want me to be realistic?
Yeah.
10%.
Okay, and why is that?
You cannot throw a rookie quarterback Sunday Night Football. Opening of a stadium is going to be. I don't even. I'd love to know how much that stadium holds. It's got to be 85,000 people. I mean, that stadium is enormous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. That's a lot to throw a rookie quarterback into. Now, there's going to be people who are right now like, if you can't throw him into the Wolves right away, you'll never be able to throw him into the Wolves right away. I understand that logic, but I don't know. I just don't see him starting week 1. I really don't.
So, but it all comes back to, do you think Matt Nagy's job is on the line?
No, I do not.
So we could go hypothetically 0-17. He's going to be the head coach next year.
Well, you're not going to go 0-17 with Andy Dalton.
No. In that scenario, if we go 0-17, is he the head coach the next season?
Does Justin Fields ever see the field?
Doesn't matter. We're 0-17.
I think he has a contract extension.
That's insane.
No, I think he already has gotten a contract extension that they're keeping under the wraps.
So how does that work? Do they not allowed? I mean, I feel like they're forced to share that publicly, and I know they don't, and they're not forced, but they should be forced. Like, I'm a dedicated fan. I need to know how long do I have to put up with this shit.
Well, Kaplan and Jay Hood on ESPN 1000, they think that Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy have received contract extensions under the table, and they're keeping this private. They've been asked multiple times. I watch every media session. They've been asked multiple times, have you received a contract extension? What is the details of your contract? These people are like, yeah, we're not saying. It's like, what? Why aren't you saying? What are you hiding?
Yeah.
Let's get to week 2. Week 2 is a winner, though. Cincinnati,
so we're playing at
they
home.
suck.
Okay, we're playing at home against Cincinnati. Burrow's coming off ACL. You think that's automatic win no matter who's starting?
Yeah, we could actually give him 2 ACLs. So, yeah, that's a winner. We're 1-1.
You think Andy Dalton revenge game, or is Fields in the lineup there?
Andy Dalton revenge game.
I love that.
That sucks because I want Fields. I'm with you guys, man. I want Fields. Do I see him happening in week 2, week 1? I don't. But week 3, here we are at the Browns. That's another loss. So now we're 1-2.
Yeah, probably. I'm not going to argue that, especially under this theory of fucking Andy Dalton's playing the first half of the season. Like, yeah, we're going to lose every road game. I don't see how we can win a road game.
Now, week 4, I think this is make or break. You're either going to start him week 4 or you don't start him at all. If they start him week 4,
is it at
it's
Las
at
Vegas?
It's at Las Vegas.
No, week 4 is Lions.
Week 4 is Lions.
Lions at home too, right? That's a win.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Lions. So I think that's the perfect one. He goes out there, he dominates the Lions.
I'd really disagree. I have to say I disagree because like the whole point, someone was just literally walking past on the sidewalk and gave me a thumbs up.
Okay,
That
fans of the
was
show,
pretty awesome.
fans of the show.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on, but it was. I don't know. Shout out to that. Yeah, TP Tier. The Parlayed Times. Let's go. We need a real name. Actually, what's a real name for our followers?
Are you a subscriber?
Yeah. Do you get the Times?
Do you get the Times? Do you read the Times? Even though we don't even have a newspaper, but
Well, we have our logo.
right.
No, but I go back. So I go back. Sorry, we got off a little off schedule there. I really think that you're going to lose the defense after week 2 if you don't start Justin Fields. I think you lose the defense like really early on in the season, and if you start Justin Fields too late, like it's not a switch you just turn back on. Like I think it happened last year. It's like we thought our defense could just turn it back on when gave the keys back to Mitch. Doesn't really work like that. So let's say you go week 1 and we lose that game like we think we're going to against the Rams, like 17-10, 24-10, 24-7. You're going to lose the defense week 1 or week 2 of the season. Doesn't matter if Justin Fields plays the rest of the year. That's the only reason I think Justin Fields has to play week 1 is that defense. I mean, I don't think I'm not trying to say that they're allowed to do this. I'm just telling you the truth.
I don't think though
They're
NFL,
gonna quit.
I don't think they're going to quit after week 1.
Oh, I believe it.
Really?
It's been the same exact team from 2018, 2019, and 2020. The Bears were the exact same team. And if the same exact kind of game plays out in week 1 of this season, yeah, they're going to be fucking fed up. They're going to be fed up. They are fed up. In fact,
And then tell them to shut up. I'm sick of Robert Quinn. No production. Shut up. Play week 2. Play week 3. Play the whole season.
I'm talking about the guys that have been here the last 3 seasons. Like the guys like Akeem Hicks, who is like had season-ending injuries. Like the guys like Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson, who have been all pros, and now they're
Eddie, you sucked last year. Eddie Jackson sucked. So I'd love to see him quit. Smack him around.
I'm just telling you the real is. I mean, these are not college kids just like playing for the love of the game. Like this is a fucking professional, and a professional's not going to lay their body on the line if they think I could play the best game ever. It won't matter. Guys they're going to quit. So that's the thing that I think these fans don't understand. Like we don't have a bunch of optimism really going into this year. It's the way people think we do. It's not like we have a bunch of young prospects like the 2015 Cubs or like up-and-coming White Sox. We have one young guy. That is it.
Who?
Justin Fields. After that, I mean, we have Tevin Jenkins we can get excited about, but like
the defense is young. Eddie Jackson is still considered a young player. Johnson on the outside at cornerback is a young player.
I think he's entering Johnson's young, but he's still a question mark.
Bilal Nichols, Eddie Goldman, these guys are young.
Goldman took last
Roquan's
year
in
off.
like his 4th year, 5th year.
Yeah, so that's like, these guys, NFL careers don't last that long, Cricket. So we're not talking about baseball players that play 15 years. Like a good defender will play like 7 years of football. That's a great career. So, and that's the thing. I mean, you're going to lose a locker room real fucking quick if it's 1-3 and Justin Fields hasn't seen the field yet.
Okay, well, I like week 4 then at Detroit or at home against Detroit. Let's get him out there. Fields lights up Detroit. He then goes out to Vegas. He gets all banged up. He plays a little blackjack. Then, boom, he's on the field.
So you think we're losing then at Vegas?
No, I think we'll beat Vegas, but I'll tell you what, Vegas is not – they're not some team we're just going to walk over. Vegas is tough. Darren Waller's a top 5 tight end.
All right, so let's pretend we're right going into it. We're 2-2 heading into week 5. Raiders have a totally new offensive line. If we win that game 3-2, let's pretend because again, I really think it matters. They have a totally new offensive line. I think we're going to beat the Raiders. Let's say we go 3-2 now. Next 2 games are at home against the Packers, on the road against Tampa Bay.
So we'll be playing Blake Bortles for Green Bay, and then Tom Brady with Tampa Bay. Okay, so we'll destroy Green Bay. We'll destroy Green Bay. We'll get smoked at Tampa.
No, this is a real conversation, though. Like, I mean, Adam Schefter just totally made up that Aaron Rodgers stuff.
Yeah.
That hurts as a Bears fan. Why does it always happen? Like, he is... Like, if you gave him 1,000 reports, Schefter's right like 999 times.
But Rodgers has not denied it. He has not denied the story.
I feel like we hear this about Rodgers like every 2 years. And he always comes back.
I know. I want that prick gone. I want him gone.
I'm actually most mad at Adam Schefter. Why would you even build that story up? What's the fucking point? What was the point of that? Because that gave us so much hope, and now I know he's going to start week 1 for the Packers. I know that.
He saw an opportunity to get likes on Twitter, and he took it. And you know what?
Yeah. No, I do it. I do the same thing.
I would do it.
Yeah, but we're talking
If
about
it's going to give me 20 clicks, I'm going to get it.
I was about to say 20 favorites is a lot
20,000.
different than like I work at ESPN. Like I'm bored. God, that fucking sucks.
Whatever.
Yeah, we go back to the schedule. So after the Tampa Bay, which is in week 7, we're probably looking at 3-4 now, and we come home to play San Francisco, who I'll let you take the floor. I mean,
Well,
Jimmy
you-
Garoppolo is
yeah.
your favorite quarterback in the NFL, evidently.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a really weird cat, man. He's started like 40 games and won
By the
38
way,
of
people
them.
that say weird cat are from like 1964.
Whatever. Jimmy Garoppolo has started 40 games in his career. He's won like 39 of them.
Just,
So it's
they should call them the
this
39ers.
this guy. He's a weird dude. If he plays, he wins. If he doesn't play, which he doesn't play like 80% of the time because he's hurt. So we don't know what San Francisco is going to do. But I don't know. They're a very talented roster. Very
I'll say
skilled.
I'll say this. He can't be that good because he keeps like the Patriots didn't think he was good enough to keep around, and Bill Belichick is supposedly a genius. Then he gets the 49ers, and like you said, he's 39-1, right, as a quarterback, and they draft his replacement already. So how good really is he? I don't think he's that good.
Well, Bill Belichick wanted to keep Jimmy G. There's reports that he wanted to keep Jimmy G and get rid of Tom Brady. So,
But did he?
no, because Robert Kraft was not going to get rid of Tom Brady because Tom Brady has made Robert Kraft all of his money.
I don't live in hypothetical land. I'm telling you right now, like that didn't happen. So they moved on from Jimmy G. He gets the 49ers. He has success when he's healthy
Success.
and
Took him to a Super Bowl. It's the most
He
success.
threw seven passes in the first 2 games of the playoffs before then, though.
They went with the run game.
It's okay. And so
They
they draft his
run
replacement.
oriented.
So how good really is he?
Well,
is my point.
Yes, they drafted his replacement. His contract is coming to an end. He's never healthy.
He's not in his 30s yet, and they're already drafting his replacement.
I think Jimmy G is 30.
Can you check that? I'm almost
Let's
positive
get a
he's
stat
not.
check on that. But either way, I think San Francisco is never going to be an easy never going to be an easy
Okay,
win
so
with Kyle Shanahan.
We're 3-4. We're coming home, and the age of Jimmy G is
29.
He's 30.
faced. So we come home. It's 3-4. This is looking at us to get back to 4-4. You think what? We're at home against the Niners, and
We lose that game.
wow, that's a heartbreaker.
That's a tough one to take. Now here's this one I'll give us at Pittsburgh. I'll say we're going to win that game. We're going to win that game at Pitt. So
I like that just because. And granted, it's May 12th. It's going to change well before the first game in September. But the opening lines came out for the week 1. Pittsburgh is at the Bills. They're like plus 7.5.
Trubisky effect.
You know what sucks? People at home is I talked about that heading into the show, and you said the same exact joke.
Because I thought it was a good line, so I brought it up.
And
again.
it got no laughs in the room from Joe and I, and he went for it again.
Yeah. Well, you never know. We got 4 subscribers, and one of them is going to laugh. So
Yeah. Did you get your times today? Did you hear the corny joke?
now you have it as a win.
Yeah, no. Well, my point of bringing up the line movement in week 1 is that I think people are saying Pittsburgh sucks. Pittsburgh fucking sucks. They're in the same case as the Raiders. They lost like 3 of their starting offensive linemen, which is like Villanueva, Marquise Pouncey retired. I don't even know if, is David Andrews still? No, not Andrews. David DeCastro, sorry.
Well, that team, they're TikTokers. That team is all TikTokers.
Yeah, Juju Smith.
Before the game, they're going out there doing all TikTok dances. You know
I've
what?
seen you bust some TikTok moves down before.
Whatever.
You got a mean
Roquan-
dolphin jump. Want
Yeah.
to do it right now? Come on.
I
You
know.
won't. You won't.
Roquan Smith is going to put Juju Smith.
In a
I was gonna
cemetery?
say like he was gonna put him into a dolphin, but that I don't know.
You're
but
so
we're
lost.
gonna
Okay,
hurt
so
them.
that's what's interesting. So, all right, so you'll take.
That was terrible for me for
Yeah, that wasn't your best.
10 seconds of just misery.
No, but all right, when you look at weeks 8 and week 9, and you got home against the Niners and away at Steelers, I don't care how you shake. We're probably going 1-1 during that stretch. I don't care where we get our win or where we get our loss. We'll probably go 1-1 during that stretch. And at the end of 9 weeks, we're looking at 4-5. Now here, in my opinion, is where I think we can get a little bit on a roll. Because our next
Baltimore's a winner. Baltimore's a winner.
Against Baltimore, like what they do best is what we defend against best.
Yeah.
Like they want to run the ball at us, we can stop the run.
Right in your face.
So like I think when we go back to the defense, like I think we could beat the Baltimore Ravens like in a 17-13 slugfest. So like that's why that caters to us. Then we go to Detroit on Thanksgiving.
Winner.
We're gonna win that. So let's say we're 6-5 at this point. We come home to Arizona.
Kyler Murray on the grass. Not so fast anymore, are you, little Kyler?
Fuck, what's his name? I don't like Kingsbury. I don't think he's that
He's
good.
On the hot seat.
Well,
no, he's on the hot seat. He might be done.
2 All-Fame receivers last year, and their offense is like either 60-yard bomb or they go 3 and out.
Arizona last year, you could go to the playoffs. All you got to do is beat the Rams with the backup quarterback. Oh, you can't do it. Yeah, now you're on the hot seat, Kingsbury. You know what, though? Sure, you look like a supermodel. Get fucked.
Well, they also had Chandler Jones, who had like 20-plus sacks last year. Buda Baker is contending for All-Pro. They have great players.
Buda Baker, what would you say? Where would you rank his name all time? That's probably, a top 10 name all time in the NFL?
Active.
Buda Baker?
Active. It rolls off the tongue, Buda Baker. But back to it's important. I think we beat Arizona, and now we're looking at probably 7-5. And this is, obviously, this is the part that kills us every year is after we go 7-5, week 14, we travel to Green Bay. It's Sunday Night Football, and we know what happens when we play the Packers on Sunday Night Football. So we're 7-6 now, right? We can just move past it.
Well, no, because Aaron Rodgers has been shipped out. He's on Denver now. Well, Aaron Rodgers is on Denver now, and we're facing Blake Bortles. Winner. Okay?
No.
Then Minnesota at home. Kirk Cousins, scared of his own shadow. Take out him. At Seattle, dropped one there.
Home against the Giants.
Home against the
We're
Giants.
going a little bit fast now.
Well, the rest of the schedule, we got a lot of topics we got to hit here, but
Okay, well, I'm going to put you on the spot then. Gun to head, what's our record next year?
Whatever, 9-7. Is that even possible?
Nope, 17-game schedule now. Because I was going to say 10-7, so we're in the same ballpark.
Fine, 10-7. If we start Justin Fields week 4. If we don't start Justin Fields week 4, we keep Andy Dalton 6-11.
Yeah, 5-12, I'd say. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
But, well, Joe, you got something you want to say?
Yeah, I want to hear your take on when do you think Justin Fields is starting?
From what I've heard this week from the Matt Nagy interview on Colin Cowherd, I think he starts week 1. And it's because, and maybe he's bullshitting, but I think what stood out the most is what was different from Mitch and Glennon back in 2017 was they openly talked, like Fox, and obviously this is a totally different coaching regime, so you can say what you want, but they talked like no matter what was going to happen, he could be 100% during training camp for 4 straight months. He wasn't going to start week 1. That's not what Nagy's saying about Fields. Fields, he said if he gives us a better chance to win week 1, he will be starting week 1. No ifs, ands, or buts.
He did say that.
Unless you think the fans are just total fucking morons and you think that we'll eat up whatever you say, which maybe I am, hook, line, and sinker, unless he somewhat respects the Chicago fans, I think he has to start week 1 if that's true.
It would be fun to watch it. We all want to watch it. So,
well, you saw what Dalton did last year for the fucking Cowboys. The Bengals, the worst franchise maybe in the fucking league, quit on Dalton.
Jesus, you're always going after the Bengals. Well, I like the Bengals. They have nice owners. The Brown family. You're always going after the Bengals, ripping on them.
When's the last time they won a playoff game? And it's not like the Bears. Never. The Bears have done it a long time ago, but they did it sometime in the 2000s. I know the Bengals haven't done that.
Jacksonville, that's like the worst organization.
They've won a playoff game more recently than we have. So that one hurt us. You didn't realize it. You just hurt the Bears. So that sucks. But going back to Nagy, if he really means it and he really is going to give him a fair shake, there's not a scenario where if this is a legitimate race that he leaves camp without the starting job. And that's the only thing I'll say about it. That's all I'd say. Except, I'd say Fields, if you want to get a leg up, you could do some steroids. I think that leads into our next topic. Maybe that was a poor transition, but the Kentucky Derby was a week and a half ago.
This is interesting. I think this is a very interesting topic.
And Medina Spirit popped for a banned substance. Now, it's not like a true steroid. So, again, sorry, we changed topics. We're going to the Kentucky Derby now. For those that don't know, Medina Spirit won the 2021 Kentucky Derby, and he got popped for an anti-inflammatory, I don't even...
PEDs.
No, it's not. But it's not like HGH or something that a steroid person would take. Like it'd be something like a rapper drinks lean, like has codeine in there. It's like the horse equivalent of codeine. Like it's supposed to help like a sick horse. So it's not like making them gigantic by any means. But basically they pop for it. Have you seen the fucking excuses Bob Baffert, the trainer for the horse, has given this?
Yeah. I mean, he's like, this is what the guy's saying. He's like, yes, the horse that I hang around with every single day took some substances when I was not looking.
That's not even, it's worse than that. So his first excuse, this is excuse one. He said, well, the grooms, which a groom, by the way, for people that don't watch horse racing, is a lower level trainer that takes care of the horse all the time, does the day-to-day training with the horses. The groom pissed on the hay, and that groom was on steroids, and the horse ate the hay. That was his first excuse he actually used in a press conference. I'm dead serious. That was his first excuse. And then his second one goes, well, cancel culture, they'll just come after anyone. But cancel culture going after horses.
Yeah.
A horse. They think we're going after horses in cancel culture now.
You just knew, and I said it on the podcast, that horse got out early, and it just kept running, and it never slowed down. I'm like, this horse is juicing. He's taking needles.
And I'll be honest.
And he was.
They need to create a separate category for that in the Olympics and UFC and everything. Like, so there's like a regular 205-pound weight class, and then there's the 205-pound weight class with steroids. They should do that.
Oh my God!
Are
you on to something?
I think that's the deal, because then if everyone's signing up for the same, like, I know he's on steroids, I know I'm on steroids. I mean, the funnest time in sports is when someone is juiced to the gills and they're doing stuff that's not possible. And it doesn't matter what sport we're talking about. Could be
you
UFC.
Could do baseball. Baseball, let the guys use pine tar and steroids, and let's just go at it.
Yeah, we'll do separate leagues. In one league, they do steroids. In this league, we do the old-fashioned rules.
And let's be real. Is anyone watching old fashioned? We're all watching these juice head fucks go at it. Like, fuck them. Look at them. Look at Sammy Sosa.
I'm just thinking from like a UFC perspective. If you had a 185-pound regular league and then a 185-pound steroid league, and I'm picturing the champions what they look like, it's drastically different in my brain how I'm visiting. Oh my God. I think that would
just to see these guys take a head kick like it's nothing.
I think they could legalize that though. Is that
they could? Yeah.
I feel like you don't think they could legalize that? And no way.
No,
I really don't think so. No shot. I mean that's death. That's a death sentence
with
these big boys.
But if everyone's aware of it, there has to be a way you could put in the contract we're not responsible if this guy literally hits your face off of your face. I mean, because if a guy's on steroids, he could.
Well, speaking of that, hitting a face off a face, boxing is dead.
Well, true.
Speaking of the same kind of that sport, boxing is dead. Did you watch the fight, Canelo?
I did. I saw the the entrances back. I thought the entrances were kind of cool.
Canelo versus what's the guy's name?
Billy Joe Saunders.
Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo. 70,000 people in Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Boxing sucks. It's unwatchable now. The fights are so boring compared to the UFC. And then the UFC will put out 12 fights that are unbelievable every weekend. Half of them are free.
Yeah, more than half, I'd say. You know what it is, and that's why all these celebrities are doing. Boxing is way more lucrative for the individual athlete. For the organization as a whole, they don't make as much money. UFC, on the other hand, the UFC created a league it's a must-watch league. So the league makes a lot of money. It's not going anywhere. And the athletes don't really make a fraction of what these boxers make. And that's why Jake Paul gets these guys to fight him, because they're going to make the most amount of money they're ever going to make in a fight.
And now you got Floyd Mayweather's going to fight the older brother.
Yeah, Logan
Or I don't
Paul.
even. Are they the same age? Or they?
Yeah, they're not the same age. One's like 2 years older there, I think.
I mean, the Jake Paul, his hands actually, he looks like he has pretty good hands, but still, I'm not watching that over a UFC title fight. If they're both on the same night, I'm watching the UFC all day long. I love the UFC, but I used to be a boxing fan, as we know. I mean, you were a boxing fan too for a while.
Yeah, and so I think that was the topic we want to cover is if you had to pick one athlete who killed boxing, who's the biggest reason boxing's dead? Could be a promoter, could be an athlete that isn't even a boxer. Maybe you think Dana White is the reason.
You would have to say that Floyd Mayweather killed boxing because of his it was just so non-fun. I don't know if that's the way to say it, but it was so unwatchable and boring to watch his fights. Now listen, I love boxing, so I appreciated his defense and I liked the parties that were thrown because of his fights. But it was, you want to see people get their face and block knocked off, and you get that in the UFC multiple times a night, and I love it.
Because you touched on two things. When there was a big fight going off, I remember this when I was a kid, it was like a mini version of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Like that was fun because, I mean, McGregor gets a little bit of that treatment, but nowhere near what a big boxing match got growing up. And that brings me to another point, too, is it kind of touches back a little bit on UFC and the league aspect, but Floyd Mayweather got to pick and choose his opponents whenever the fuck he wanted to, and that's what killed us because let's be honest, he fought Canelo when Canelo was like half of what he was capable of. He fought Manny Pacquiao when Manny Pacquiao was on the back end of his career.
Yeah.
His last 3 fights where he was going for that 49-0, 50-0 are against guys that are journeymen. Like that's another reason why boxing is dead is your so-called greatest doesn't fight the other greats. He fights the easy fight that wins him money and keeps his record shiny.
Yeah. And you know what? There's a guy coming up right now. His name's Ryan Garcia. I think his name is like King Ryan on Instagram. He is a phenom. He's like a kind of a young Oscar De La Hoya, and he's coming up and he's undefeated and he's knocking people out. But you know what? He needs to fight someone that is going to be interesting. So yeah, that sucks.
And so then we're still touching about dead aspects of sports. This week we saw what'd you say, the 15th no-hitter?
I think this is like the 16th or 18th no-hitter, 15th, or yeah, it's around there.
Well, I'll let you go because I know this gets you fired up the most. How no-hitters just don't do it for you anymore?
No-hitters don't do it for me anymore. I think we had like 4 or 5 last week. If you don't throw a perfect game, I don't care. Don't even put it on ESPN bottom line. I don't care. Everyone's throwing a no-hitter. So, you know what? Cool, you threw a no-hitter. Hop to the back of the line.
Yeah. You know what actually the biggest annoying thing was? Remember those team no-hitters? Remember team no-hitters?
Yeah.
That might be the worst thing that's ever created. Like, no. It's either got a no-hitter, the guy got pulled in the 6th inning. Okay, it's not a no-hitter anymore. Shut the fuck up.
I still respect a perfect game. I mean, a perfect game, I completely
I've seen
respect.
a perfect game, not to brag. I've seen a perfect game.
Burley.
I was at the Burley 2009. Crazy.
Fuck you, Tony La Russa.
Oh, yeah. Gotta get that in every episode.
Had to mention him.
That was crazy. Dwayne Wise. And I know we hate the White Sox.
That was a great catch.
Oh, my God. It's an amazing catch. That was electric because that was one of those, because I was in 2009. I was like 12 at the time. No one really realizes, even a no-hitter, but like no one really realizes a perfect game until like the 5th or 6th inning. That's not really... It's not going to be talked about or whispered about until like maybe after the 5th.
Oh, I would love to be at one. Here's a good story for you. Marshall's. You ever been there? It's a hell of a place. I love Marshall's.
Are we doing a fake ad right now?
No, we're going to get to the ads because we do have some.
Marshall, you get anything. I was at Marshall today. I bought a fucking basketball. I bought pants and I bought a going out shirt. It's like
$15 you spent.
50, but like
all that was 50. I go there, I get like 20 shirts, and I'm walking out of there like under $100. I mean, these shoes, $3 from China. I mean, I'm cheap.
Well, that's an Amazon buy, right? You try to get me onto those.
This is Amazon, but it is, they're weird. I mean, they say some weird things on the back, but I try not to look at them.
Like the sickle, like the China flag.
They just say fashion on the back, but
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is. I think. Well, And I know we didn't do a really good job of this, but wrapping up. But I think we covered all the topics. Is there anything else you want to touch on? I know we want to touch maybe a little bit on NBA playoffs, but now that the Bulls
We'll get there. We could touch on that next week.
The Bulls are basically eliminated after that loss to Brooklyn. It was a little bit disappointing because we thought with the Vooch trade that they were going to go make a little bit of a run, at least get in the playoff game or play-in game. Didn't get there, and now we don't have a first-round pick unless we get in the top 4.
That's bad by the Bulls. I mean, you to not get into the playoffs when it's 10 teams instead of it's typically 8. So they added 2 more teams. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you, in a kind of a weak Eastern Conference. Not good at all. Pressure is going to be on them next year.
And actually, they're pretty lucky that they kind of squeaked through this episode without us shitting on them. Because when we traded for Vooch, we were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Had the playoffs started, then we were in it, and now we're like 100%. We're not 100% out as of this episode, but we have less than 2% chance of making it. So
Patrick Williams will have to take a step forward next year. I mean, a big step forward, and I think he can, but he needs to look for his shot offensively. Son, you have to look to shoot.
Yep.
Fuck's sake.
You know what? And that's a good place to wrap up because next week we have to take a step forward, keep getting out better content, better podcasts. This is episode 4, though. What'd you think?
I thought we did good. I thought there was funny parts. I don't know. We'll see. I think it was fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was just fine. But I think that's all we got for you guys. Again, really appreciate you guys listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next week, right?
The best is yet to come. Today is a good day for a good day. Thank you. Let's go Bears.
Shout out Joe Davis.